Let's say you want to build a treehouse, but need to know the measurements for the roof height.
How would you know how high to build the roof? How would you know how much wood you need?
In this situation, you would use sine.
But what is sine? How do you use it to conduct everyday life examples?
When identifying what missing information you need to find in a triangle, it is important to remember sine, cosine, and tangent.
But what are these things? Let's look at this triangle and determine its parts. This is a right triangle, and these two sides are the legs.
Across from the right angle is the hypotenuse. When using sine, it is important to remember that you use the opposite side from the known angle and that you use the hypotenuse.
Cosine uses the adjacent side from the known angle and the hypotenuse.
Last but not least, tangent uses the opposite side from the known angle and the adjacent side.
This is a lot to take in and understand all at once, so we'll take you through it to get a deeper understanding. Let's start off with a problem where we try to find sine.
Since we are using sine, we're going to do the opposite side from the known angle over the hypotenuse. To set this up in equation, we will do the opposite side, x, over the hypotenuse, 10. Then you multiply this all by the sine of the known angle, 30. Next, you multiply each side by 10 to cancel out the denominator. Now you get x equals sine 30 times 10. To do this on a calculator, you would do sine 30 times 10. This equals 5. Now we know that x will equal 5. Now that we are using cosine, we're going to do the adjacent side to the known angle over the hypotenuse. To set this up in equation, you would do 8, the adjacent side, over x, the hypotenuse. You would multiply this all by the cosine of 35. Notice how x is in the denominator spot. This would mean that you would have to move the cosine of 35 into the denominator spot. Now you would set up your equation as 8 over the cosine of 35. To do this on a calculator, you would do 8 divided by the cosine of 35. This equals 9.766.
Now we know that x equals 9.76.
Let's try doing an equation using tangent. In tangent, we are not using the hypotenuse. We're going to be using the opposite side from the known angle and the adjacent side. To set this up in an equation, you would do the opposite side, which is 7, over the adjacent side, which is x. We will multiply this all by the tangent of the known angle, 40. Notice how x is in the denominator spot again, so we're going to have to move the tangent of 40 into the denominator spot. We would set this up as 7 over the tangent of 40.
To do this on a calculator, you would do 7 divided by the tangent of 40. This equals 8.34.